It's always a bit risky to try to do humor about race matters, and the backlash at BuzzFeed has been fierce after the website published a piece called, quote, 37 Things White People Need to Stop Ruining in 2018. At least it seems to be an attempt at humor, judging by the #1 complaint on the list. White people are ruining macaroni and cheese. I don't even know how that's possible, but some observations were decidedly not meant to be funny, such as a majority of white Americans voting for President Trump. Let's try to figure out what's going on here with comedian Jimmy Fallon, who's also the head writer for Kennedy on the Fox Business Network. Jimmy, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.
Great to see you. Let's get him.
Yeah, well, what's your take on what BuzzFeed tried to do?
Wow, I mean, this is a garbage piece. But let's not overlook the important pieces of journalism BuzzFeed has given us this year, like 13 pieces of cheese that look like cats, and which member of the royal family would throw the best Super Bowl party, you know? But yeah, it's total junk in the sense that we all know that if a white person were to write this, not only would they get fired instantaneously, but anyone who didn't denounce them strongly enough. Like, do you know what would happen to Taylor Swift if a white person wrote this and she didn't denounce them within 30 seconds of writing it? It's kind of disgusting, you know, that double standard exists. But it also exposes, Jason, which is one of the things I find fascinating, it exposes this myth that the left actually cares about race relations, because they only do when there's a way to weaponize it for their political gain. Meaning, if they really cared, if they really treated black people as equals, to give you an example, they would want to hold this woman to the same standard they hold white people to. But on the left, they don't do that. They infantilize black people, and they say, like, oh, we can't criticize them because they're a member of a protected class. We can't fire this girl because she doesn't know any better. She can't help herself because she's black. And that's the one thing I find most insulted. Like, I would be insulted by the reaction to this piece if I was black, because you're not being treated as an equal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, when they start to go into this territory, it just makes me cringe. I really try to do all I can to just turn it off. You know, one other thing that came out here is, I didn't know if you knew this, but evidently farmers markets are also racist. A pair of San Diego State University geography professors claim in a new book, farmers markets are often white spaces where the food consumption habits of white people are normalized. Now, these people are being paid with taxpayer dollars, and this is what they're researching?
This is, I mean, you could file this under, like, reason 2,581,000 why Trump won. When everything is racist, nothing is racist anymore. You know what I mean? If you just tell everybody that everything that happens, like we keep saying we need to have this conversation about race in this country, but I think we need to start by defining what race is. Because in this instance, these people were given money to figure out the best way to feed low-income people. But instead, they got an opus about racism, which really isn't a very good dinner. You know, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work out that way. And I know as a white person, I've ruined macaroni and cheese, according to BuzzFeed, which was probably the one thing, Jason, that I resented the most, because I'm like 94% body fat. If there's anything I know about, if I have one area of, it's mac and cheese. Let's be fair.
Well, look, and finally, I want to talk about CNN went on a 2-day quest to blow the lid off a major conspiracy. Why was a truck blocking their camera's view of President Trump's golf course in West Palm Beach? The white box truck became the network's greatest white whale, as CNN would just not let go of this story. I'm sure you saw it.
Today, a big white box truck parked in front of those hedges, trying to obscure our shot of President Trump golfing.
This is just so great, and we're trying to figure out where this white truck comes from. I should say, for the record, our Noah Gray has been on the case.
Did you see the driver there, Sarah, like blocking his face? Did you see that?
Yes, you see the driver blocking his face. Clearly, they don't want you to know who's driving this truck or where this truck came from.
We can see you, mister. We can see you.
Breaking news, Jimmy. Breaking news.
Yeah. First off, this is a big deal for CNN because it's their first story of the year that doesn't come from unnamed sources. So it was kind of a big step forward for them journalistically. But it does speak to like how deranged they've become in their never-ending quest to bring down Trump. When in the history, in the 8-year history of the Obama presidency, did you hear a word about where anyone parked anywhere during a presidential golf outing? And as a New Yorker, I think that was the most insensitive part of the story, is that they brought up this thing called a parking space, which I've never heard of in the month of December.
Jimmy, thank you. Happy New Year.
Lot of
That's
fun.
all the time we have tonight. I'm Jason Chaffetz in for Laura Ingraham, who will return on Tuesday. Ed Henry, who's filling in for Shannon Bream, is up next. Have a happy New Year, everyone.